do it.
Okay. You guys want my phone number? Write it down. My name is Heather. I put my phone number is 317-626-4668. Okay. And I came to AW in 2017 as a transaction coordinator. That was my foray into real estate. I got my license in 2018, not so much because I wanted to sell, because I wanted to know more and prepare myself as far as helping agents. So I got my license in 18. I sold on a team for about 6 months, and then I came back to. I do have a production business, like I can still buy and sell houses for people. So what I do for the office is I offer what's called services. So agents can hire me to take a contract from the day it gets signed, all of that paperwork, things like that. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do today. So you can do it for yourself, because you'll want to do it 2 or 3 times, so you know how to do it, and you know what pay somebody else to do it. This is a lot of like down in the details. So that's me. Right now, I have a business where I offer those services to agents in the office. I also have a listing package, and then I also work for another individual agent. So what we're going to go through today is pin to close, and we're going to go through it with a buyer and with a seller. Very similar. It's just a matter of information going opposite ways. Are you guys brand new, or you're just new to the office?
I'm new to the office.
Okay, so you sold a house in Fort.
I got my license 4 weeks.
Oh, brand new. Okay, cool. Very good. Like I said, I go through this pretty high level and pretty. Because this is kind of a concept that is so far down the road for, definitely a new agent, and listen to the note before you may already know. So that's why I gave you my number, so that when you actually get into the middle of the transaction, you go out, whatever, feel free to call me. I'm a team player. I'm happy to help people whenever. Okay, so what I've done is I've created kind of a bit of a flow chart-ish kind of situation for pin to close from start to finish. So the other one looks like this, so they look almost exactly like. This one's the buyer at the top left if you want to circle buyer, so you know the difference between the two. So you've gone to all the trouble to list a house, or to work with buyers to find a house. You've gone to one showing, you're finally under contract. So the first thing you're going to do with all your signed documents is put everything in command. So you create your contact if you haven't already. Create the opportunity, which is address specific. So 123 Main Street is under contract. We're going to buy that house, and then you're going to upload all your documents to command, and that's how the office knows you have a transaction started. These are the things that you need to upload, so the handbook, the purchase agreement, any counters, whatever you have to make it an official contract. Seller's disclosure, like base payment if it's older than 78, and a DLC sheet. Submit that to the office. On the buy side, kind of, is just information so that they can kind of project what's going to be coming and going accounting wise. It's not as crucial as far as timing as it would be for your salary. So you're going to submit everything to the office. And then I always, right at the very beginning, do what's called create an offer tab, and that is how you get paid. So you create a commission tab, you say, here's how much, here's what's coming in, this is what my commission's going to be, and that way they know. So you've made the office happy now. And then we're going to start going through the purchase agreement and see what we need to do. So, for example, the first thing I have here is, do you order a home warranty? Did your buyer say they wanted a warranty? Did you say you're going to order it? And if so, you should do that. I always do that right away because many home warranty companies will offer what's called free seller's coverage. So you can put a warranty on the listing. It's not even yours because you're going to be buying it, and it covers you from the time you're under contract to the closing date. And it's things like when the refrigerator goes out the day before closing, we're fine with inspection. So do you need a home warranty? The line numbers on here might be off because of the updated documents. So just is around those numbers. They may not be. Next thing I do is, next thing you will do, I didn't do this as a transaction coordinator, but as a buyer's agent, you're going to want to send your client a next steps letter. There are a lot of dates that they have to keep in mind, and they have to hit deadlines that they need to hit. So it's going to cover, I brought mine. Every agent in the office probably has something like this. Mine starts from like day one, you want to do earnest money. All this stuff is already negotiated as an first agreement, so you should know it. So they're going to want to deliver their earnest money. They're going to want to schedule an inspection. I give a couple of inspector companies as just, hey, you might want to call these people. If they choose liable for a bad inspector. I bring up things like, it may not just be a full home inspection, you may want to do radon or weather septic, things like that. But I put it all in here and let them call the inspection company and make those appointments and choose the one inspector. And then there's a financing deadline, so they have to apply and be approved for their financing by a certain date. Again, and then home owner's insurance, same thing. Give them a list of agents that they can call. If you want them to choose a home warranty company, I put that in here. That's what I do for next step. You have to have a checklist. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, okay, so you have told your clients what they need to do. I notify the lender as well. I actually the other agent, the title company, and the lender, and then all the documents in it and say, hey, we're under contract. So and so is, we'll be in touch with you, Mr. Lender, about, what your next steps are. Because they have a whole other set of things they have to do with it. So I notify the client's lender, I send the purchase agreement, the VLC sheet. Then basically the lender and buyer work together, office outside of you, to get the things that they need. As far as you're concerned, what you want to keep an eye on is making sure that your buyers know that you can answer your lender's questions and get them things as soon as possible because deadlines. I keep an eye on specifically the appraisal. So did it get ordered? when do they expect it back? The purchase agreement says appraisals are to be ordered immediately. Some lenders have a really weird concept of what immediately is. Some will wait to approve inspection, which I don't know. But just keep an eye on that because you don't want to have a delayed closing because of and then the other thing that I keep track of is if your buyers are using FHA or VA loan, there's some additional documentation that the lender has to have signed. So I just kind of in the back of my mind go, did I see an FHA form come through because your buyers have to sign it and then the sellers have to sign it and the sellers so that's another thing. Extra documentation for this, so I keep an eye on that. But generally, the lender and the buyer are working together behind the scenes, and you guys, if your lender calls you and says, so and so is not responding to me, not, time fashion. I said, times of the essence, and there are deadlines. You're legally obligated to do these things at this time. So. Okay. Then the next thing you need to do is order title. You may have to order title. This is the purchase agreement. Who orders title? Say buyer or seller. If you're the buyer, then and that's a quick email. Like when I email the lender, the title company, that the other agent all at one time. That's my note to my title company. Hey, we're starting title. Can you take it from here? Here's all the documentation you need to do that. If you don't hear anything from the title company within about 48 hours after you think you've ordered title, call them and say, hey, I just sent you a new order on Monday. I haven't heard anything yet because you don't want to fall. You don't want to get to the week before closing and go, hey, we're ready to schedule closing time. And they go, I don't know what you're talking about. So make sure that they got information. If you don't order title, the other side is supposed to order title, and again, you don't have anything within 48 hours or so. Contact the other agent, or you can contact the company. Okay. So then the next thing is generally inspection. Your clients have called to schedule the inspection. I personally, as an agent, show up at inspection right at the very beginning. I will stay for the whole thing. But I will show up at the beginning and introduce myself, make sure that the inspector got in okay, and then I leave them to do their inspection and let the inspector talk to the buyers, talk them through the house. I need to be there for every outright check and things like that. Then I'll come back at the very end, and give like a real brief summary, and hopefully alleviate any concerns that the buyers have because inspections can be overwhelming. Paying somebody to tell you what's wrong with the house. So I always kind of have a little spiel about this is a great house, everything's fixable. We're going to ask for what you guys want to ask for, but I know you got a lot today, so take a deep breath. You're going to get the report tonight. I always tell people to sleep on it. We'll talk tomorrow and talk about it. And then, of course, you have the whole start. So you have your inspection deadline. That's in the purchase agreement. That's how long you, as the buyer's agent, have to for your clients to get it scheduled, done, and applied to. So if you have 14 days and your buyer's waiting until day 12 to schedule an inspection, you've got about 48 hours to get all three of those things done. So I was just do it right away. And then you go back and forth and negotiate, right? So did you guys have a class on inspection? Okay. So you've done your inspection response, you give them however many days to respond, they reply to you, they give you another deadline, then you go back and forth until you come to an agreement. So the initial one or the whole process? It depends, like, so you have the buyers, you've done inspection, you do the response. It depends what you're asking for. Like, some agents will get quotes and things before they even make a response and say, you know, we want A, B, C, and D done. Here are some quotes for it. You have 3 to 7 days to reply because they may want to get their own quotes. But after that initial response, you can say, you know, it just depends on, and they can always ask for more time. So you've done your inspection, your lender has done their appraisal, it comes back at value. You're ready to set closing time. So all your due diligence is done. You know, agreed on inspection, they're gonna make these changes, fixes, they're gonna send you receipts, whatever. Then you're ready to set your closing time. That's just a quick email to your title company. Actually, I include everybody on that email. I include the other agent, lender, and title company. And just say, you know, let's schedule closing for Friday the 13th. Is everybody ready? The title company will send you a closing statement for you to look at, for the buyer to look at. It should look exactly like what the lender has sent them. So they've already seen all these numbers. The lender has looked at them and sent, here's what your final number is. Here's how much you have to bring to closing. If it's over $10,000, they have to wire it. So make sure that the title company is the wire. Explain wire fraud. Always explain wire fraud. Essentially, wiring instructions should never be emailed. Wiring instructions are not going to change. If that title company sends you an email, we have new wiring instructions. Here they are. Here's the new account number to send it to. You say, you call me immediately, and then you call the title company and say, are these right? And they say, nope, those are not right.
Don't they send that
Directly to the buyer, and should be like an encrypted email or through a portal or something like that. So, also, yeah. So then you go to closing. You clients, and then when you're done, you need to upload all your closing documents. Closing documents. I know. Okay. So this is the checklist that I use if you're visual. This is what I use every day with my that one for the buyer and this one for the seller.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, questions about buyers? Questions on buyers?
Very nice. I'll see you soon, man.
I'm big on the flow charts. This
Oh,
is amazing.
good. Yeah, I'm so visual that like, you know, and they're just, you know, and so like,
Yeah, I love it. I've been making flow charts for this since I
Uh-huh.
started. So when you brought this out, I was
Oh,
like,
good.
oh, that's perfect.
good.
It's also good to conceptualize it since there's so many different steps.
Mm-hmm.
All at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, it
Okay,
gets
I go
overwhelming
here.
when you just talk about it. And when you see it on a piece of paper and you go, hey, I can do this. I can just go that, check. Good.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a good rest of your day, of course. Okay. So same thing, as basically as buyers, but information goes the other direction. So there's a lot of, duplication here. So sellers, you've gone through your listing appointment, they've given you the go ahead, you've listed, you've negotiated all the contracts that come in. Okay, wonderful. So we're gonna start with command again. This is the same thing. You're gonna put all these documents to command. Purchase agreement, seller's disclosure, like basically you need it. This submission is time sensitive though. When you have a listing, you have to have it ended in my board within 48 hours. So this process needs to happen pretty quickly. So once you have a signed contract, you then as soon as possible, and then you submit it to the office. They can do it in my board for you. And then we're going to create our offer, do our commission tab right away. If there's a home warranty to be ordered, we're going to do that right away. Even if you don't have a warranty in the purchase agreement, actually you can put listing coverage on the listing with the mini market. So, I'm sure Steve talked about the listing service. So that's something that's nice to have on there. And the reason we do this at the very beginning is because there's what's called a season period. We talked about this at all. The longer the warranty's on a home without any issues, the more likely they are to cover something. Because if you put a warranty on, like, you just bought it, you put a warranty on it the day after closing, and then you call them on the next day and you say, oh, my HVAC went out.
That looks kind of
Right. So no, I'm under warranty for a day. So they're, they're. Okay. Send your sellers a next steps letter. That's this short little letter because sellers don't have as much to worry about as buyers, because they're just basically, taking on whatever the buyer can do. So, I always give them the date the inspection responses due. Hey, your buyers are going to schedule an inspection. They have to have the response back to us by this date. We're going to talk about it. Closing day, of course. I always say, watch for inspection and appraisal appointments that come through. Super One now used to be Broker Bay. So they're going to come through the same system that all the showings come through. So even though you're under contract, you don't have any more showings. If you get something from that company that says, hey, we're expecting us to come on Thursday, you still want to accept that. You don't have to be home for these appointments. Buyer has until this date to get the inspection done. Appraisal will probably be done in the next couple of weeks. And I always tell my people, treat these two appointments like they're most important showings. I have a hints and tips page, but hints and tips for a good inspection, how to prepare your home for inspection. And it's things like, make sure they can get into the attic, make sure the crawl space, have a filing cabinet in front of it, the access does have a file cabinet in front of it. And just keeping it clean and looking nice and impression on the inspector. So that's next steps for sellers. And then we start again with, the only thing that's different here is that you have to go with the lender. So if you're the one that's supposed to order title, you order title. If you have 48 hours, call who you think the title company is supposed to be and see where they are in the process. And then inspection, so you just wait for them to send you a response, and then you go back and forth meeting deadlines like you're supposed to. And then you're ready to set a closing time. So you set your closing time. If you want to have a closing gift, coordinate that. And then once you're done, you have your, I always have the documents emailed to me that you can walk out with half of the documents. And we upload everything to plan. So that is sellers. And basically, these are this in a checklist. So you can kind of, like, I have one of these for all my files, so it helps me keep track of questions. That was fast.
Big fan, like, this is totally the way I think.
Oh, good.
This is so easy to follow, even though I know most people don't like this.
Uh-huh.
I'm here.
Good. I mean, like I said, this is kind of a nebulous concept until you actually have a transaction that, you know, you're gonna have to go back to square one and have one. So you can practice.
Right.
Practice
Yeah.
scripts, you can practice a lot of things, but it's hard to.
You just gotta get used to it after a while.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you get so busy that you want to hire somebody, you can, type of transaction.
Nice. And I'm definitely gonna have like go through this with someone
Oh, good. Who are you working under?
on my team. I'm on the Allen team.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, my Dave Allen and my dad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and so nice because whenever I have a question, I can just
Yeah.
get right to them.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You have lots of experience.
Yeah, we're working with one investor, or one main one, and he's one of the best people to work with.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he'll usually get homes from share sales or anywhere else he can get a good deal, but share sales like the bulk of it. And then he has a team that renovates them and goes through, and then it's almost like the dream deal for a new home buyer. And so those two, my dad and him have been working together for like 19 years now. And they've been like big buddies, and it's funny too because they actually both play Pokemon Go.
Oh, hilarious.
So they'll send each other gifts whenever they're on vacation. So that's a big fun. But yeah, it's great. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go through this so that I can get a bit of their experience. They can tell me like, oh yeah, this is what this is.
Yeah, well, you might help them
That's
yeah.
why him and John wanted me to go to this because they said they always joke around saying like, "Oh, we got successful just by working hard and being really lucky." But they want me to see like the actual performance. And I was lucky. I was actually able to go to this Ignite on my internship like last year.
Oh.
And I was able to grab like the second half of it, which that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what did you do before you got your license?
So for a bit, I was selling roofs with now I'm blanking on the name. Licensing really knocks a lot out.
Yes, it does.
It was
not enough room up there for all of it.
No, right? Yeah, Republic Roofing.
Okay.
And it's just you get their insurance company to pay for it more.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing while I was studying.
Okay.
And then eventually I got to the point where once I was actually taking the test, I was like focus on that for just a little bit because it's nasty. It's all done. But yeah, the only bummer about the once you pass is then you actually have to learn stuff.
Yeah, because it doesn't teach you how to be a realtor.
It's like the first 15 pages. I get the book and I'm like, this isn't like anything I learned in my internship. So I give my dad the like giant book. He's like, yeah, the first 15 pages are like that's the good stuff. The other 400 pages, you're never going to do any of this.
I mean, I understand.
Whoever made that was smart.
Yeah.
Scamming everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. About halfway through my test, and I thought, if I don't pass it, I'm not doing it. I also had the unfortunate advantage or disadvantage of I'd been working in the industry for a year and a half, and so the answer to all the questions was it depends, right? It depends. Was this form filled out? Was this notice given? Was that if this then that? If this then that? You know?
It's almost like you have to study how to do real estate kind of incorrectly.
Yeah.
Just to pass the test.
Yeah.
It's worded so long. I remember the only funny loophole I found was every single time it said one of the options was like have an attorney do it.
Yeah.
That was always
Yeah.
And other than that, there was no other cheat except for oddly enough, one of the open exams where you want to see a math question. So like
you know there's a right
you
answer.
can't fake math out, but then you go to one where you know like there are two right answers.
Mm-hmm.
Which one does the test maker think is the most right? And you really have to like. I remember the last exam, the last time I took it when I passed, or the one I stared at for like 15 minutes. I'm like going through it, and I'm like, eventually I'm like, okay, this like a 2% extra chance that this is gonna work here, so that's the right answer. And I'm like, man, I hate this.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
frustrating.
It's definitely been like this, like actually finally being able to learn useful information
Yes.
that I can use. Well, it's so much better because you go through so much learning, and the whole time I don't need to know this.
Yep.
Which that makes
Yep.
it's just demoralizing.
It is. It is. And I mean, there are agents who've been doing this for 30 years who are still learning things because every transaction is different. Different